Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today, and welcome to week 2 of Global Success Month. Today, we are joined with my good friend and CEO to CIRA, Francis Fernandez Ariza.
Hello.
Throughout the webinar, if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the chat or use the Q&A feature to be addressed later on. Did you know that LIBOR has been appointed ambassador associations with CIRA since 2018? What exactly does that mean? The National Association of Realtors Ambassador Association program is loosely based on the International Sister Cities program and is designed to help members' connections to real estate opportunities and share associations' best practices across the world. NAR appoints a partner state or local association to each of its partner international countries. The Ambassador Association works closely with the global ambassador assigned to that country and NAR's global coordinator. The program gives members of both ambassador associations the opportunity to expand their business networks and get involved in international real estate activities on a local or a state level. Francis Fernandez is the CEO for CIRA, the Spanish International Realty Alliance. He is a CRS, a member of the Executive Committee for UCI, received the Management Development Program accreditation from PDD by IESE, the Graduate Business School of University of Navarra, and has over 30 years of experience in finance and real estate industries. Other roles Francis has held include CEO for the Compra Casa Network, Regional Manager at GMAC, Regional Manager for UCI, and a real estate instructor with specialties in business initiatives. Please help me welcome Francis Fernandez.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Ivan. It's a pleasure for me to share with you the next 40 minutes. I have a lot of friends in LIBOR. They are here with us, like Susana, Iris, Kay, Isabel. Wow, LIBOR is my family because there is a lot of. I have had a lot of opportunities to share, to spend time with you, and when I went to New York, is my second home now, and it's a pleasure for me to stay here. Thank you very much. So. I'm going to share with you a presentation about the Spanish real estate market or the Spanish economy situation in general, because I think it's important for us to know how is our country, how is running business here, and what is the situation in general, and what kind of opportunities you have to send buyers or sellers to our members. CIRA has now around 800 international realtors. Spain is one of the most, our group is one of the most, one of the biggest group of international realtor members out of the US. We have around 1,100 CRS members. You know, we start our business 16 years ago, and during these years, we had more than 8,000 students that passed for our education programs. We have the focus in education, improving the skills of the real estate professionals here in our country and in Portugal too. So I'm going to share my presentation. If someone wants the document, I'm going to send it to Ivan, so you can ask him, and for sure he's going to share with you. Okay, let's start. Why Spain now? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I used a presentation similar like that, and I call it Why Spain? Okay, why Spain? Why to buy here? Why to invest in our country? And I used a similar presentation, and I changed the title. Said Why Spain now? No. Why Spain in this 2023. Okay, so I used a study that my business school, named it IES in Barcelona, made every year about the opinion of the CEOs and presidents of the foreign companies that are in our country. So they ask about some items, some topics to these persons, and they measure the level of satisfaction of these companies staying here in Spain. They ask for the topics like the labor market, regulation, environment, market size, cost, transactions. You have this slide. You can see in this slide that they evaluate very well the level of our infrastructure, the quality of life for their workers, the market size, the good human capital for their companies. Let's make focus in these topics. And if we compare the 2020, the study that they launched in 2021, in comparison with the 2022, the most evaluate for them to invest here and to establish their companies here in Spain is the level of the quality of our infrastructures. Really, the government of Spain made a huge effort during the last 14 years, investing in airports, in ports, roads, high-speed trains, many of the infrastructure that are made easy for those companies to stay here. The labor market has a very good valuation too. The market size because Spain has around 50 million people, and there is around 72 million people, 72 million of tourists that are visiting our country during the last year. So this is a big market for companies that are making goods and services here. Okay, the quality of life is one of our strengths too. So in order to make focus in infrastructures, they really evaluate the high level of our airports, roads, telecommunications, ports, high level of qualification of our labor and infrastructures of high-speed train too. Okay. They ask about the evolution of the workforce, the forecast for the next year, and nothing changed if we compare. Nothing changed dramatically if we compare with the other years. Excuse me. Sorry. Obviously, the Ukraine war is impacting in our economy and in the economy around the world. So the 93% of the companies are feeling that the war of Ukraine is impacting in the economy. Only the 7% of these CEOs and presidents are thinking that the impact is low. So 93% feel that the war of Ukraine is impacting in their activity, mainly because the cost of the energy is rising. There are lack of supplies, problem with logistic distribution. They lose customers because obviously we close our relationships with the Russian market. The Ukrainian market is not in the best conditions. In order, if I may focus in the energy cost, in the case of Spain and Portugal. You know, we are in the south of Europe. So the gas that we consume is not mainly from Russia. Countries like Denmark, Germany, UK even, they are very dependent of the gas, the Russian gas. In our case, in the south of Europe, we have suppliers like Algeria, Morocco, countries in the north of Africa. With one we have a very good relationship. So in this case, our energy cost is not impacting like in the center or in the north of Europe. Really, we have a very low cost of the energy. I don't know why they put in this barometer that they are concerned about the energy cost, because it's not really impacting in the economy, in the families, and in the industries. Okay. Reasons for setting up a company here. Okay, good geographical situation. You know, we are in the south of Europe. We are the door to Europe for many companies that want to establish in our country. The local market is big. Access to other markets for many companies that want to establish in Spain. They are thinking not only work for Spain. They want to. They are thinking to make business with France, Italy, other countries that are not very fast of us. Infrastructures, labor cost, okay, things that I explained in the last slides. You know, the ESG compromise is present now in the economy, and the governments are working very hard to make the ESG goals in the economy and society in general. So our government and our country is working hard in gender equality, good health and well-being, climate action, responsible consumption and production, where industries are working in this way, clean energy, good decent work and economic growth. Well, the compromise of our government and our country is very strong with ESG targets. Okay. Factors that favoring the development of sustainability strategy in Spain is because there is a strong employee awareness about this topic. Consumers, the awareness of consumers is high too. Responsible supplier behavior and client behavior, regulations align with sustainability goals, and a high level of infrastructures that prioritize sustainability transport, like high-speed train and things like that. One of the most evaluated topic is the our quality of life. Spain is a very safe country. You can go, people that are in the webinar that visiting, that have been here, you know that you can work anywhere, and the feeling of safety is very high. The healthcare, our healthcare system is one of the most efficient in the world. It's easy for expatriates to be integrated. The cost of living is increasing, but is if you compare with the US or other countries in the north of Europe, living in Spain is cheaper than the main number of these countries, and there is a good leisure and culture here in Spain. Okay, this is the, let's go to the real estate market. Okay, this is the this chart show us the blue line is the average of the profitability or of the investment in real estate. Here is the 4%, is very stable profitability. It depends on the kind of property you are going to invest. Obviously, you know, if you take more risk buying apartments in areas, more risky, you can have maybe a 6-7% of profitability. If you buy a retail property in one of the most known streets in Madrid, Barcelona, wherever, the profitability for this kind of investment maybe is around 2.5, 3, but the average is around 4% of profitability. Okay. I thought I found this chart yesterday looking for the opinion about our cities to be an expat, and was a nice surprise for me. I know that Valencia, where our friend Isabel Zenocrati now is living, so in the chart, Valencia is now the best city for expats in the top 10. The 5th one is Madrid. The 4th is Lisbon. So very proud about our cities because they are good. They have a good score for expats that wants to move to our country. Barcelona is in the 14. In a best situation that New York, that is a very good city to live to. But okay, this is the chart. Okay, the Forbes review said that Valencia is one of the, this is in Spanish, sorry, la mejor ciudad del mundo, the best city to live for Forbes in this study. Okay, Malaga is one of other hotspots now, with a huge investment in tech, for tech companies that are establishing there. There is a hub, tech hub, that is attracting a lot of high qualified professionals around Europe, and for sure from the US too. Okay, this is excuse me because it's in Spanish, but I'm going to translate. We made every quarter barometer. This is the barometer of CIDA and UCI, and we asked to our members, our real estate agents in general, how they feel the market. Okay, every quarter we ask how you feel the market, how is your perception, and for the future, for the next 3 months. In the case of buyers, compradores, número de clientes compradores, the number of customers, buyer customers, okay? The number of customers that wants to buy is, if you can see in the chart that in the last part of the 2022 is going to decrease in the last 2 quarters. Obviously, the increase of the interest rate, the increase of the impact of the Ukrainian war, maybe that impact in the mindset of the buyers, and they said, okay, let's stop our project, let's see what is going to happen. But the feeling for the next 3 months is that maybe there is a little increase in this kind of customers. So, okay, the market for buyers is not for the number of buyers is not as good as in the first part of the 2022. In the other side, the number of clientes vendedores is owners, okay, owners that wants to sell a property. They have feeling more stable, around 60%. And the feeling for the next 3 months, the 68% of the real estate agents that are participating in the study, more than 500 participate, 68% are thinking that maybe they are going to see an increase, okay, an increase in the number of sellers. Why? Maybe because, maybe not for sure, because they are thinking that the owners are going to have more difficulties to sell by themselves their properties. In Spain, around 30-35% of the transactions are done without an agent, is for sale by owner. So when the market is harder, obviously the owner needs the help of a professional. This is maybe the reason why they feel their feeling is that they are going to increase in the number of sellers. Okay. Other topic that we ask them is about the número de personas, is number of people that are going to work in the agency, the team, okay, the team of the agency, trabajan en la agencia, are working in the agency. The team of the agency, maybe because they don't think that the impact of the impact of to have less transactions is not going to impact the same in their agencies. The 92% are thinking that they are going to maintain the number of agents in their agencies. Even a little part of them are thinking in increase the number of agents. Okay, so maybe the market in general is not going to be as good as in the last year, but the opportunity for agents is to help these owners that the last year maybe they sold their home in the figure of for sale by owner. This year they are going to need the help of a professional. Okay. Okay, the feeling about the price of the properties, okay, around 44%, they think the prices are going to be stable or with a little increase. You know, real estate is local. It depends on the place you work. But more than the 50%, 55% think that maybe the price are going to be stable or with a small correction, correction down. Okay. So this is the evolution of the Euribor. The Euribor is the index that the Central Bank of Europe used for mortgage and for other kind of loans. But in the case of the mortgage, you can see that we started 2022 with a negative rate around a half of point. So the mortgage, you can contract a mortgage in the last in January of 2022. You can sign a mortgage around 1% fixed for 20-30 years. So now the interest rate for a mortgage in Spain is around 3-4%. So it's a huge increase that impact mainly in first home buyers or families that need a high loan to value to buy the home. So this kind of buyers are going to leave. They leave the market to the project to buy a home, and mainly they are going to the rental market. This is the reason why the profitability of the rentals is increasing dramatically. And in many of our cities, now the profitability of a flat, if you want to buy a flat and rent it, is easy to have a 5, 6, 7% of profitability, as I comment in the first slides. Okay, so the market is changing. There are less buyers, more rentals, and maybe not. This is because the interest rate is rising, the inflation is rising too, and so the families can afford a home in the same situation than that in the last 10 years. Okay. This is the evolution of the increase of the price of the properties, residential properties. We had the peak in the 2004, before the Lehman Brothers and the last crisis. You can see that the peak was in 2004. So the increase, okay, not the price. The peak of the price was in 2007. So this is the evolution of the incremento annual, is the annual increase. Okay, so in 2002 we closed with a 8.5, but the next chart, in the last part of the year, this is a new that I catch this afternoon, few minutes ago, in the La Vanguardia, is a newspaper, one of the most known newspaper here in Spain. So the evolution for the last part of the year is not as strong as the during the last 3-4 years. This is the impact, the direct impact of the Ukrainian war and increase of the interest rate. Okay. Forbes said that Spain is one of the best places to be retired. If we compare Europe with the US, you know that many retired people in the US prefer to go to the south, like Florida, Texas, Arizona. So Spain is quite similar. It's a good place to be retired. You have to think that we have more than near 500,000 of UK citizens living here, around 200,000 German citizens living here by when they retire, and they own their own home. They used to buy a home here for holidays, and then they retire here. Okay, there are many reasons, because of the cost of the life, the climate, the climate, sun, good food. Obviously, retired people valorate the healthcare system in Spain. Is one of the most efficient in the world. This is the chart that show us that Spain is one of the fourth, in the top of the fourth countries that have the best healthcare system in the world. This is we are very proud about this. Okay, and this is more or less the people that is living legally here, but the real situation is that more or less the double of this figure is the real number of people that is living here, because UK citizens, there is around 500,000. They maybe are maintaining their citizenship in UK in order to vote or to have some properties there. In the last year, the most the population, or the country that is the citizens of the country that increased the most was Ukrainian people. Ukrainian people, now there is around 250,000 of Ukrainian people living here. Okay, our cultural wealth, Spain, people that has come once or two times know that we have a lot of UNESCO designations. We have a very strong and very well tourist industry, hotels and restaurants, and we are very prepared to receive 72 million tourists during the last year. This is a news that I read a few days ago, a month ago exactly, that the increase, this is the Wall Street Journal, said that the Americans are buying home in Spain more than ever before. I recommend you to read this news. They explain that the increase of the American citizens buying in Spain is very strong. Why? It's because the things that I explained in my presentation. They appreciate the Spanish way of life with good healthcare system, good infrastructures, good education systems, universities, international business schools. So they are okay. You are buying here, and many of your customers for sure are thinking in buying a home here. Some figures, okay, we are around 49 million residents, more than 3 million foreign residents, foreign citizens are living here. 72 million tourists visit Spain during the last year. The international buyers are around 16% of the buyers here in our country. The tourists represent around 15% of our total GDP. We belong to the G20 of the most powerful countries in the world, and we are the fourth economy in the European Union. This is Spain, you know. We are surrounded by the sea, the Mediterranean Sea, in the east, and in the west we have our friends of Portugal, a very nice country to visit and to live to. And so if you want to have colleagues here to work with them, we have a website named crsspain.es, where you can find our colleagues here. You can have the information about their designation. The majority of them are International Realtor members, CRS members, Green Realtors, ABR. So they are very well prepared to work with you and to attend your customers. Okay. Finally, I want to share with you a video introducing our annual event. It's a short video.
I've had the ability to attend the conference the past 2 years, and we've now opened it up so that our counterparts here in America can take advantage of a conference in Spain.
I want to invite you to attend Emocionate 23 with me, June 29th and 30th in Granada, Spain.
So we have a landing page for international attendees. Here is the flyer that we prepare for international members. The event for you starts 28th of June. Granada is one of the most beautiful cities in our country, with a long history, castles, church, good food, good wine, good weather. Believe me, it's one of the most beautiful cities here. For sure, you are going to enjoy Spain in Granada those days. So the event starts for international members, starts on 28th with a property tour during the afternoon that starts at 4 p.m. On Thursday, the 29th, we have prepared a special meeting for introduce you the international buyers market in Europe, not only Spain, because we are going to invite people from France, from Portugal, Italy. So you are going to have a nice overview over the European residential market. On Thursday, 4 p.m., Emocionate starts with the general session. At 9 p.m., there is the welcome party that is included in the bundle that we have prepared for you. On Friday, the 30th, 9 a.m. starts Emocionate with another time with the lunch included. And finally, 9 p.m., we are going to enjoy our famous gala dinner that is included in the bundle. Okay, all for 5,600 euros. That is around 560 dollars, because now the change dollar euro is very close. So Libor is going to explain you how to buy tickets and how to organize the trade mission. I would like to, thank you very much for stay here. I would like to share with you our website, a special website for a landing page for international attendees. You can see here in Emocionate. Let me copy and put in the chat. Okay, if you want more info, Isabel, obviously Ivan, Susana can have all the info, K2. So I hope to see you here in 3 months. Okay, that's all.
Thank you so much, Francis. That was such a great presentation. Thank you so much for taking out the time. We have a couple of questions in the chat that, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to ask.
Okay, perfect.
So you had mentioned that Spain has a high number of foreign buyers that are currently moving into Spain. So you have like a very inbound market that's going on right now. Yeah. What is the most common property type that people are buying? Are they buying like apartments in the middle of Madrid? Are they buying vacation homes on the coast? What do you find is like the most popular among foreign investors right now?
Okay. There are I am going to reply, but I have not exactly the number. My feeling is many of them are buying second homes in the seaside, Mediterranean seaside, Canary Island, Balearic Island, because maybe they are thinking, now you can work anywhere. So many of those spots are working for their company in London, in Amsterdam, in Paris, wherever, okay? And they live here because they have a less cost of life, good quality of life in general, like I explained. So they are buying mainly homes near to the sea. Even in Madrid, a lot of rich Latin buyers are buying in Madrid the last years in the most expensive areas in Madrid. They love Venezuelan, Colombian, Mexican rich people are buying here. Like they bought a home in Miami maybe the last 20 years. Now is Madrid. And young people are these young professionals that are coming to work in technological companies. They are buying small apartments, obviously, because they have not enough money to buy a big home. I think that you can buy a good flat in Malaga around 200,000 euros. Okay, you can buy a villa for 10 millions too. Huh? Okay, but you can buy a good flat in Malaga or in Valencia for 200,000, 300,000, even in front of the seaside with nice common areas with swimming pool, tennis court. That starts. Barcelona and Madrid are expensive. Maybe in Barcelona you need around 500,000 to buy a good flat. You can buy a small flat for 200,000, 300,000, but the average maybe is more 400,000 and 500,000 euros. Madrid, the same. You need to spend or to invest more money. In the north of Spain, there are very nice areas like Galicia or Asturias in the north of the country. The part of Asturias, Gijón and Oviedo are not too expensive. You can buy a good flat for 150 euros. So it depends. There are rich people, rich German people buying huge homes in Mallorca or in Marbella for $4, $5, $7 million euros. Sorry, but there are regular families that are investing 200, 300,000 euros in a nice home too.
Sure. I remember a couple of years ago when we were in Spain and you took us to that castle that was for sale. I think it was 16 million euro.
See, yeah, you remember 16 million.
I'll never forget it. I have pictures of it on my phone still.
was a palace, no? I remember we visited two homes in Barcelona, one worth 5 million and the other one was 16 million. So, but in Barcelona, you can buy a flat for 300, 400 in the city, but there is the big Barcelona. If you move 20 kilometers in the north or in the south of Barcelona, you can find a nice flat to live and very well communicate with the city for 300,000, 400,000.
Talking about mortgages for a second, because I know UCI is, offers mortgages with a couple of other companies also, but I'm wondering, is there, like, how does a mortgage usually work? Is there a certain amount that you need to put down, like 20%, 10%, 50%?
if you are resident in our country, you can have 90% of loan to value. So you can have a down payment around 15-20%, independent of the region, because the taxes to buy a home here are managed by the region. Region is like your states, okay? Spain is divided in 17 regions, so it's not the same in Madrid than in Andalusia or in Catalonia or in Galicia, okay? Every region has its own taxes. The average of taxes to buy a home is the cheapest one is 5% of the price, and the highest one is Barcelona with the 10%. So you have to think that you need the closing cost is around 6 to 12% of the amount. So you have to have this amount, and you have to have around the 10% of the value of the home. So you need to have a 20%, more or less. If you are resident, for foreign people, the banks are asking for a 40% of the investment.
Are there any other restrictions in terms of location? Like I know in Mexico, foreign buyers can't purchase a certain of miles away from the coast. Is there any sort of like geographical requirements or restrictions, for lack of a better term?
Some banks don't want to finance these kind of properties that are very far away from services, or they are in not good conditions. Yeah, this is a restriction, but it's the common sense. Typical flat, typical home, every bank wants to finance. So if you want to buy a farm or a kind of a piece of land without a home, because you want to be to promote your own home, they ask for highest down payment. Okay.
Sure. Keeping the conversation on foreign investors for a second. Is Airbnb recognized in Spain?
Yeah.
Are there any requirements or restrictions against like an investment property?
It depends on the city. The Airbnb is running here, the business. And obviously, you know, Spain is a tourist, very known as for tourists. So a huge amount of the tourists that came in, they used to rent a Airbnb apartment. It depends on the city. They have restrictions like you have to have a license to do this business. You can't put every flat, the flat that you want in Airbnb or something like that, if you don't have the license to exploit this property as a tourist residence. Okay. In the case of Barcelona and Madrid, you need to buy one, because they cut to expand to explain also to make more licenses. So you have to buy one apartment with a license. In other cities where the situation is not a problem for the neighbors, maybe you can buy a flat and ask for the license. But you need to buy a flat in general with a license. If not, you can't rent as an Airbnb. You can rent it in a general rental situation, okay, but not for Airbnb.
Okay. I think there may just be one more question from the chat, and then I'll also put out to the attendees, if there's any questions, please put them in the chat or the Q&A, and I'd be happy to ask them on behalf of you. I know you briefly spoke about this, but Spain currently doesn't have an MLS, but there are platforms that you can post the listings on. Is there any thought about getting an MLS, and any further development on something like that?
Okay. There are many MLS unconnected. Okay. The phenomenon of MLS started here 15 years ago when CIRA starts bringing education to the real estate agents. We explain them, okay, there is a thing named MLS that is running in the US for a long time ago and is a good service for you, know? So there are 60, 65, 70 MLS, small MLS that are running local. Mainly are owned by a small association of professionals in these cities or these areas, but there is not a big MLS connecting all these small MLS. But I think the market share of this MLS is less than the 15%, 15, because the market has to change, and we are teaching the market, but is little by little. So this is one of the reasons that it's difficult to have an exclusive listing. Okay, many of the owners are working not only with an agent because they feel that they are losing opportunities to sell it, because if your agent is not in an MLS, obviously you lose opportunities with the other agents. So many of the owners prefer to work with 2, 3, 4, 8 different agents. This is, for me, is a mistake, obviously. In CIRA, CIRA is aligned with the MLS service for customers and to use for part of the agents, but not all the agents think the same.
I would imagine that gets pretty confusing if you're working with 4 agents and, one says that they got the buyer, the other one says they got the buyer. I'm sure that it makes a couple of headaches for the whole transaction.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
it's the situation of the market. Little by little, we are helping the professionals to expand the way to do business in the US for realtors. Okay. Isabel said, explain the difference in CIMA and CIRA. Okay, CIMA in Spanish is Salón Internacional de Madrid. Salón Inmobiliario de Madrid. Okay, CIMA is a expo that a company in Madrid holds. Is a good show, property show. Mainly is for developers that wants to sell properties. If you visit CIMA, you can see the most important developers of the country selling homes, mainly developers that works in Madrid or in the seaside of Costa del Sol, Marbella, okay, in the south. This is CIMA, Salón Inmobiliario de Madrid. Okay, it's not an association, no. CIMA is not an association, is a real estate expo. Okay, is a real estate expo where developers wants to show their properties, their projects, to sell their flats or their homes. Okay, CIMA is not an association. CIRA is the Spanish International Realty Alliance, is the organization that manage in Spain the bilateral agreement with NIR. Okay, so we are like a association of realtors. Okay.
And members that join CIRA, are they considered international realty?
All, yeah.
IRMs?
Yeah. All of our members are international realtor members. Okay, they pay the annual fee. They pass the code of ethics, the CIRA code of ethics exam. That is the same code of ethics that NIR. We translate literally the code of ethics. And yeah, this is the difference. CIMA is not an association of real estate agents. It's just a property expo. Good property expo, but it's that.
And then they get vendors, and the vendors market their property.
Yeah. And the real estate agents, the event for real estate agents in Spain is Emocionate. The event for developers is CIMA. Okay, CIMA is a good real estate expo. It's like MIPIM. Okay, if you know MIPIM in Cannes is a real estate expo. Or Expo
I'm also
Real.
thinking the Dubai expo that they just had.
Okay, the Dubai one is a real estate expo for people that wants to sell services or mainly developments to other people.
Oh, we have two more questions that just came on in.
David said.
Yeah, we'll answer David first.
Okay,
yes.
no, it's up to you.
We'll do Iris first. His question came in first.
Iris, hello, Iris. How are you?
Our good friend Iris. I'm not sure if you'll know this answer, but talking about outbound investments, where do you find that most people from Spain that are relocating out of Spain, where are they investing?
Okay, it depends your preference. Okay, if you are comfortable with retail, is a good one. It depends on your budget. Okay, if you have 10 million, you can buy a good retail. You can buy a good retail shop in one of the main cities in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Seville. Okay, and you can buy the Zara shop or the Apple shop in Madrid that is owned by Amancio Ortega. Okay, you can buy a kind of retail, this kind of retail, top retail spots. If you prefer residential, I suggest it depends. If you are going to use this property for holidays or something like that, I consider that the best one is to invest in a home in the seaside, okay, in the coast of Barcelona, in the coast of Balearic Island, in the coast of Valencia, nice place with good weather all the year. It's not too expensive, and you are going to have a good deal when you rent it. If you are thinking only to invest and not to use, so there is a good opportunities in the north of Spain. In Galicia, it's not very expensive to buy a home in La Coruña, in Santiago, in Asturias. Asturias is one of the regions in the north. It's very green, good food, nice beaches, similar to the seaside of Britain Island or in the north of France. So there is not too expensive to buy a home, and you can have a good yield. So it depends your taste, but you have to interview the investor and feel what he likes.
What about on the reverse though? If someone from Spain is looking for a property outside of Spain, would you happen to know where like most of them are moving to? Is it like Florida? I know they all love like the warm weather.
Yeah. I think that the rich people in Spain are investing in Florida mainly, New York. Obviously, New York is the capital of the world.
I saw New York was number 16 on that chart that you showed in your presentation. So it was cool to see that on.
Yeah, but 16 is this is the opinion for that cities for expats. No?
Yep.
But one thing is to go as an expat, and another thing is to invest. So Spanish people are investing out of our country, mainly in US, mainly in Florida and New York, because it's easy to fly to New York from Barcelona, Madrid. There is direct flights every day. There are many flights from Barcelona and Madrid. It's easy to fly to Miami every day, from Palma de Mallorca to Malaga. So those cities are the most known for us.
All right, and I think we'll just do this one last question and we can wrap everything up. If a buyer or investor wants to buy in Spain, how do you suggest contacting a broker? I know you briefly mentioned this, but maybe you want to mention it again. Is there a specific website that we can go to, that our members can go to try to connect with people from Sierra?
Yeah, I suggest to contact with an international realtor. If you have a customer that wants to invest here, you have the list of. You can contact me, obviously, but the best way, I think, is to talk with an international realtor, explain what is the profile, what is my profile as an investor, what is my preference, because everyone has his own ideas, and what is the budget for investment and the plan for this property, because that I said is not the same to buy a home that you want to use in Barcelona, Madrid, or wherever, Malaga, to came for holidays. Is not the same that if you want just to invest to have a profitability and nothing else. So I think the best way is to contact with an international realtor, a broker that is an international realtor, and let him or her to guide this investor.
Sure. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time out. It's always a pleasure to see you and to have you on these. We're truly honored to have you here. Like I said, I'd like to send an extra special thank you to a couple of people that we have on this webinar. Kwan Song, LIBOR's 2023 Global Chair, and Patricia Erker,
Hello, Kay.
2023 Vice Chair. Also, Isabel Zinocrati and Susanna Dumas. Your help is always so appreciated. You were both extremely instrumental with helping our communications with Spain and planning our events. As Francis, as you mentioned, LIBOR is going to be attending your conference in Granada, Spain, in Mocionate, June 28th, 29th, and 30th. We are planning to have a group of members who would like to go and join us. So if you are interested, it's tons of opportunities to learn and network. It truly is a really great conference, and there is English translation. So don't be upset if you are afraid that you think the entire conference is going to be in Spanish. For more information, please send me an email, globalawareness@lirealtor.com. And if you're on this webinar still, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow at LIBOR's 5th annual Global Breakfast, which is scheduled for 8:30 to 12 at Terrace on the Park in Flushing Meadows, Queens. And if not, we'll see you on our next week's webinar featuring Brian Woods. Adios, amigos.
Oh, very good Spanish. Muy bien tu español, Ivan. Así me gusta. Okay, thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to share the info about our country, our members, and I hope to see you all in Granada in June. For sure, you are going to enjoy our event. It's an emotional event for real estate, and okay, hope to see you.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you, Ivan. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.